Not into long podcasts. Don't worry. We've got bite-sized clips just for you. This is CWN Clips. Please don't forget to subscribe. Next question is from the early data warehousing to ML and now GenAI. Like what filters do you use as a leader to separate hype from substance when evaluating AI tools? So that's that's a question I want to get your thoughts.
That's an excellent question, and then it's always a hype versus reality, right? So there are a few things that I really ask about, right? Does it really solve a clearly defined problem? Right? Does it have the right data quality and governance to support it? Can our real users actually adopt it and trust it with ease? Right?
Mm.
So all of these are very important. So it's not just about building a fancy model that no one uses it and it just becomes
Mm.
a shelfware. Right? There are a lot of places we have seen that, and even there was in my career at some point of time we were even creating certain accelerators and things like that from an insurance standpoint, and then we felt that at some point it was really a shiny object, but we know that it might be used for a few weeks or months, but it'll become a shelfware beyond a period of time. Right? So that's why I always ask about it. Okay, it's better to start something small, some
Yes.
safe pilots, right? Have measurable outcomes before we scale too large, right? Um, and then what I do is I listen closely to our frontline teams, right? They will tell you very quickly whether this tool is going to help or not. We don't have to imagine their day in their job and then say that this is going to really be a game changer for them. It's very easy to just go and ask them and then say, is it going to make a difference or not? So those are few filters that I use to always make those calls.
Yeah, I think very valid point. Yes, it's always that. I think crossing that hurdle is a very tricky situation, right? I mean, once you've done that, it is good. Probably a lot of times, you always end up, burning your fingers after a while and deciding, oh, hey, probably I should have evaluated this probably 6 months back. So that's a constant thought. Every technology leader or probably they have to keep going through.
Mhm.
um, other do you remember a time where you're pushed back on adopting an AI solution? So
Mhm.
even when it is popular, right? So I think while you mentioned briefly in terms of yes, it's a shining object, but I think probably you will have to be very cautious about in just quick time it would become a shelfware. So
Mhm.
give me some examples or probably your a time where you push back even though the solution is probably popular.
Yeah. So there was a time where it was even like a build versus buy option. We were trying to build on our own, and then we were also trying to buy something that was available, right? And then there was always an more than a pressure. There was a feel to say, let's leverage AI for accelerating the claims processing in an auto insurance world. Right? And then the tool promised massive cost savings. Right? But after looking much more deeper, we realized that probably the training data was biased and the
Mm.
explainability was really weak, right? And we felt that this is really a risk and it'll be unfair, and it'll lead to certain claim denials, which are not fair. So that's a place where we said, you know what? No, we should not adopt this. We should push back. Right. So we did choose to hold off, and we said that we have to revisit this with a stronger data and controls. So sometimes to even say that not yet is the best thing for you to do for you and your business and your reputation as well. That's why responsible AI means knowing when not to implement, right? No matter what the hype is. So I know you also spoke about hype versus reality. So that's the place where it is not just to do just because of the peer pressure. So being responsible is more important rather than feeling a FOMO.
Excellent. I think it's a excellent point, right? I think we have to. n- Yeah, it's always that pressure, right, which mounts. Okay, so everybody is doing this. Why not be? And we should not fall behind in terms of the technology advancement. So that's always that thought. But how do we look at the pros and cons and decide the right thing for the business? So that's a very, very conscious decision which you have to make. Yeah, I think very, very valid. I think you covered a brief on my next question on the responsible AI in your lens. So because it's a quite often overlooked ethical issue when it comes to AI in highly regulated domains, right? Because I know it's always this quick win, and how do we use this in our environment is always a lot of people are interested to bring it up, but a lot of times it's overlooked. A lot of ethical issues are or at what cost. So maybe I just wanted to get your um, perspective, right? Maybe a bit deeper. Well, you've covered a brief, but maybe and you're being in healthcare and being in insurance, and this could be a very, very predominant conversation you would have done a lot of times.
Yeah. So now I'll take an example on that. It's also one of the subtle but a critical issue is the data drift, right? The data that feeds our over a period of time, it does change, right? But the models, if they don't adapt transparently, whether it's insurance, healthcare, or any other industries, right? If the data starts reflecting new patterns, say it could be new demographics, or it could be changes in some disease prevalence, right? Or the model isn't retrained responsibly, you are going to introduce unintended bias, or harm without even realizing it.
Yeah.
So bias is a
Vast topic.
yeah, it's a very vast topic, and then it'll definitely get there are definitely a lot of ways to address
Get around.
bias. You can do grounding. A lot of there are ways to do all of those, but the thing is, main thing is that will drive if you feel that responsibility is something that you have to adopt.
I think it's more of having a strong policy around it, and it's a culture we should put as a. I think the leadership should strive for having that kind of an environment to actually talk about it and see what is really ethical and not ethical, and I mean especially building some policies and governance around it is very, very important, right? So a lot of times it becomes more of that hype cycle. Okay, how do we adopt it? And then we fall for prey. We fall prey for those.
That's correct. See, and again, another thing is right. While bias and fairness gets a lot of attention upfront, so ongoing monitoring and accountability for models in production is still overlooked, right?
Overlooked.
That's the other place where responsibility is not just a one-time check, right? It's a
Very true.
continuous commitment. So it has to be as part of model monitoring, even after things
True.
are in production.
No, it's an excellent point. Model maintenance, and of course, I think that's also an overlooked area too. Because after it's productionized, I think that I think a lot of times people don't look at what kind of biases or probably responsible AI we have to constantly look at from the new patterns and what data it is actually consuming. True, true, very, very true. So I mean, if you have to define responsible AI in one term, like what would what I mean, probably what would it be, and then has your definition changed over time?
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. Right. See, when I remember when I first heard about responsible AI, I was more thinking that that's more regulatory and compliance, right? So checking that our models are meeting regulatory needs and we are compliant, right? So that was the initial feel of that, right? So definitely that has changed over a period of time, and then today I would definitely look at a uh, few thoughts about it, saying that it should include an intentional design, it should have accountable impact, it should be transparent operation, right? It's all about asking should we rather than can we, right? So there are a lot of things that can be done, should we be doing it? So that really ensures the explainability, right? It'll address bias, monitoring drift, keeping the human in the loop, and all of those are important. And then and most importantly, it means putting people at the center of every decision, right? In every industry, right? Whether it's a regulated industry or others, right? These decisions are going to impact real lives and livelihoods. So definitely responsibility is there to put every decision in center of that.
This is just a glimpse of one of the many conversations we've had in this channel. If you found this thought-provoking, please don't forget to subscribe and explore more insights from unfiltered voices and the real-world experts. And please don't forget to like and share this video to as many people as possible. It keeps us going. See you in the next one.